Hi everyone. I thought we're gonna put all of the nutrition that we need in one pan. And what better way to do that than a vegan vegetable lasagna? So that's what we're gonna assemble today. My name is Chris and I am a diabetes nurse practitioner. Welcome to my plant-based kitchen where we make healthy food so we can live longer and healthier. So let me start by explaining that with lasagnas, you do have to assemble quite a few ingredients. So if you come closer here, I'm gonna start showing you this marinara sauce that we made from scratch. My mom and my father-in-law has had so many tomatoes this last week. So I roasted them in the oven with some herbs as well as onion and bell peppers, pureed them, and then I simmered it for about an hour to an hour and a half, and it became this very nice luscious sauce. So you do have quite a few vegetables and allium vegetables already in this spaghetti sauce. The next thing we're gonna put in our lasagna is this field roast apple vegan sausages. And so what I did is that it's a package of 4. I opened it up and I just crumbled it. We're gonna put it on top for added protein. I've also roasted these zucchinis in the oven. They're from my father-in-law's backyard, and believe it or not, this is one zucchini. It was a gigantic zucchini. So I put some herbs and spices on top, roasted it in the oven for 20 minutes, and I got this. So we're gonna layer that. The other thing is that I don't have any spinach, but I do have kale. So I cooked kale and I seasoned it already with garlic and as well as mushroom seasoning, so it already has flavor in it. And what we're gonna add is a vegan ricotta here, which is my tofu ricotta. I can link up to a recipe on this one. And the reason why it's slightly yellow is because I added a little bit of turmeric in it, because who am I not to add more spices into my food. And this one is completely optional, but this is vegan cheese that I got from Trader Joe's as well. So the key here is to make sure that you have good pasta, and this one I buy from Trader Joe's. It is no boiling, oven ready. And so what we need to do is just use it for layering. I opened this container here already, so we can start doing that. So let's put the sheets on top here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our sauce at the bottom, because your pasta needs to absorb liquid, and we don't want your pasta sticking to the bottom of the pan. So I have about 4 scoops there, and what I tend to do is just kind of like spread it around so you have the bottom of the pan completely covered. And this one's really perfect because this is just what I do, and that's why I think I buy this brand, is because it fits perfectly in this pan. I believe my sister got it from Crate and Barrel. So now that we have that, we're gonna layer our other ingredients on there. Now I do have the tongs there, but it's so much easier to just use your fingers. So feel free to do that, or feel free to use some tongs or other devices to grab your vegetables. So we're gonna do this as one of our layers right there, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we're trying to kind of achieve a rustic look here. And you can see that there's different sizes to my zucchini. That's perfectly fine. This gigantic zucchini, seriously. There. And then what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna save that for the next layer, is put some kale on here. I don't have any spinach right now, so on any given week, I may have spinach or I may have kale. So I use whatever vegetables I have available. And we're gonna do a thin layer of this one on top here. So you've got tomatoes and bell peppers and carrots and allium vegetables like garlic and onion, and they're already mixed up with your tomato, which is a nightshade vegetable, in your marinara sauce. And to top it off, we're gonna put zucchini, we're gonna put kale on here, and so it's gonna be so packed with vegetables, with protein, and you'll have all of your nutrients all in one slice of a zucchini, right? Okay, so I think that is good, and I have at least half of that in there. The next thing that we're gonna do is sprinkle some of our sausages here, because oftentimes I really want my lasagna to be a little bit meaty. Yeah, that kind of like jumped out. That's fine. So we're gonna use like around 1/3 of this here. There we go. And you can see that you already have quite a bit of layers in here. There. Okay, put that back in there. And then let me just wipe my hands real quick. Okay. And then the next layer we're gonna put are dollops of our tofu ricotta. And what I tend to do, instead of spreading it around, which I don't like because it gets messy, is really to put like the little dollops of it across. Because when you put your next layer of pasta, then you can just squish it down and it will spread out. It may not be like all the way around, but you know that when you cut a slice of lasagna, you will get like bits and flavors of this. Okay, so that's about half of it. And then we're gonna put a little bit of our vegan cheese here, which is completely optional, I have to tell you. You don't have to do this because our only source of fat actually in this lasagna is really this vegan cheese, because they made it and one of the ingredients is coconut oil. So, and I do try and avoid as much oil as I can avoid. Okay, so we put that on there, and then we're gonna put our next layer of pasta sauce, because you always want to make sure that you hydrate that next layer of pasta that you have. Okay, I'm not gonna put too much on this layer here. We don't want it to be soggy as well. So we're gonna put the remaining pasta sauce on top. Okay, so now let's put on the next layer here. And I think we can use up all of our pasta sauce in here. Very nice. And what I really like about this is that it's homemade. it was really wonderful that people have been so generous, and my mom and my father-in-law and even my sister's mother-in-law, Peggy, had given me so much tomatoes that I decided that, hey, why not? Let's use up all of these tomatoes and make it into spaghetti sauce. So just as an idea for you guys, you can use the tomato sauce for other pasta dishes as well, but hey, I don't make lasagna that often. In fact, if you want to know, I think I make lasagna once a year because I really am not into making too much of these. Okay, but you know, kids love them, and my family loves them. My husband specifically really absolutely loves lasagna. Okay, so we're gonna put this so it just has a nice little bit of gooiness on the very top. And we're gonna cook this in the oven. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. So that should be good. Yep, we did pretty good. All of our ingredients we used up as we should have. Wipe my fingers here. And so we're gonna cook this covered for 30 minutes. I happen to not like the mess that I made here, so let me just wipe this down here. There. There. I do not like that. Although it will simmer and bubble in the oven, so it's probably gonna get messed up again later. Okay, so we're gonna cover this as tightly as we could because we want the steam to cook that pasta all the way through. So 30 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you take off the foil cover on top and cook it again for another 15 minutes uncovered so that you can brown the top. So we'll see you back here later when we're ready to take this out. So welcome back. Here is our baked lasagna. So we had this in the oven for 30 minutes covered, and then we took off the cover and just let it cook for another 15 minutes. You do not want to cut into this right away because it hasn't really completely set. So you want to rest this about 15-20 minutes. It's still going to be very hot. It's going to be piping hot. So let it rest, and then you can cut into it and serve it. You can serve it with salad on the side or some type of cooked vegetables like broccoli. It's one of my favorite things to go with the vegetable lasagna. Or if you want a little bit more carbs, which my husband does, you can have a little bit of toasted bread with some olive oil and balsamic vinegar dipping sauce that you can eat with your vegetable lasagna. I hope that you have acquired another idea here of making some plant-based dishes that are not only very good for us, but also very delicious. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you again on the next video.